In this lesson I'm gonna give you some exercises that are gonna help you break free of positions, and the exercises are also for some part gonna help you get more familiar with some of the structures and some of the material that you find in each of the scales. Some things are just a lot easier to play if we move around on the neck instead of being locked down in one position. So if we have something where we can repeat the same kind of left hand fingering or use the same kind of right hand technique to get the phrasing to sound right, that could be something like this line. If I play that in a position, then that could be something like this. And of course it's playable, but it's a lot more difficult and it's a lot easier and a lot more efficient to just use the other approach where I'm moving around on the neck. I already made one lesson on how you should practice your scales in positions and how you should not only learn the visual pattern but also learn the notes and learn some of the arpeggios and structures that you find in the scale, because that's what you need when you're improvising or composing solos. And I'm going to use a similar approach in this lesson. So the first thing you want to do is, I'm going to assume that you pretty much know your positions, but you want to know the scale on each string of the guitar. So if we take the C major scale and then I'll play that on the B string, that could be something like this. And this should be something that you can do in a tempo like this, so it's not fast, and I'm not really worried about technique or that it's fluent. It's just about knowing the notes and being able to find them. And that's the first step. You want to do that on all strings. You don't want to spend really a lot of time on this. I think it's the kind of thing where you can use it to check a bit and don't set any sort of standards in terms of speed or technique or something like this. It's just about knowing the notes and having a clear overview, and you can use it as sort of a check for yourself. The next thing you want to do is to try and connect the different positions that you already know. So if we take part of a position, like for instance these two strings on the D and G string, so that's part of a C major position. And then let's try and connect those up the neck on these two strings. So that would be something like this. So what you want to do when you work on this, of course, again, try and do all string sets. It's not about speed, it's just about overview. Try and think ahead. So when I'm playing the first 6 notes here, I kind of already want to be aware of that this is where the next one is, and in that way always stay ahead, always be able to train so that you can have an overview of the neck, not only where you're playing but where you're going to play next. Because in general when you play you want to think ahead and you want to be aware of where everything else is. So you want to train and get sort of an automatic response to where the next note is in the scale, so you can easily slide up to the next note. Of course you want to know what note it is as well, but I think for this exercise probably focus more on just thinking ahead in terms of where it is, and then you have to slow down quite a bit with this amount of notes if you want to also think about all the notes. So I would do that more when I'm just playing the scale on one string. So the next thing you want to work on is to practice some of the structures that you need when you're improvising along the neck. And here's where you're going to use the fact that you already know the notes of the scale, that you can already connect the positions, and also that you have a theoretical knowledge of the scale, so that you know what the diatonic triads or the diatonic seventh chords are, and try and put that to use. So if I play the diatonic triads, the C major starting here, then the first one is an F, and I will get this exercise. And what you need to be aware of is, of course, now we're using all the knowledge from the other exercises, and you also need to know, as I mentioned, that F is followed by G, followed by A minor, B diminished, C, D minor, E minor, F. And in that way you need to know a little bit more about the scale, but that's also the knowledge that you anyway need to have ready when you're improvising with the scale, because then you need to relate all the things you want to play to whatever chord is being played underneath it. And that could be a C chord, but it can also be a D minor chord or a G7 chord. And if I take the triads that I just played and then add a seventh to that, then I will get this. And right now in these exercises I'm not putting the name of the chords of the arpeggios that I'm playing in there. You need to figure that out yourself. I think that's a good exercise. It's in C major, so that's probably the first place you want to learn that anyway. And once you have the system, you're going to have an easy time doing that, I'm sure. If we look at the F major 7 that I just played, the way I'm playing this is of course with one note, and then 2 notes on the B string. But we can divide that differently and then say 1 note, 2 notes, and then 1 note, or 2 notes, and then 1 note, and 1 note on the next string. So in that way we have a few different ways of playing these arpeggios, and you want to check that out as well. You can even go 2 notes, or go into more exotic things where you have 3 notes on one string. It's all about having the options and checking out the possibilities and having the overview to play them. And then it's all good to check it out. I don't think this is really about speed. It could be the kind of exercise, if you're playing it, that you want to check out, okay, I need to have this down in a certain tempo and stuff like that. And that can be practical. But the first time around it's about overview, and it's not about the technique and the speed in that way. So if I take the option where I have 2 notes and then 1 note and 1 note on the next string set, you will get this one. And if I play the last variation with 2 notes on the middle string on the top string set, you get this. And probably you can already see now that some of them will be easier to play than other ones, and there are likely going to be on some string sets a certain variation of arpeggio that you're less likely to use because it's just not so nice to play, which is okay, but you need to check them out and you need to be aware of it, and then find a solution that will work so that you have an alternative approach if you are in a situation where you need to play that. That was a few examples of some exercises that should help you get a little bit more free and get more used to seeing the scales along the neck and not only in a position. And of course also trying to get you even further in learning the diatonic chords and the diatonic triads and all the structures that you need when you're improvising. Normally when I do these kind of lessons I add some lines as examples for how you use this. And I didn't do that for this lesson, but I could make a separate video if you're interested, which is demonstrating some of the lines that you can make, because I think we get locked down in positions a little bit too often, and then we're kind of ignoring some of the really easy and guitaristic lines that you can make when you use these kind of things, like the line that I did in the beginning. So that could be worthwhile to just do a few lines as examples. So leave a comment if you're interested in that, and I'll try and make one if there's enough feedback on it. If this is the first time you see one of my lessons, then you can of course subscribe to my channel. I publish a new lesson every Thursday, and I've been doing this for quite some time. I already have 100 lessons on my channel. If you want to download a PDF of the examples that I went over here, if you want to check out the exercises away from the video, then you can follow the link in the description. On my blog there's a PDF download in the article that accompanies this lesson. When you're on my website you can also subscribe to my newsletter if you want to stay up to date with stuff that's happening, concerts I'm playing, or new lessons in my web store and other things that are happening. And if you have any comments or suggestions for topics or ideas for stuff I should do differently or do more of, then you can of course leave a comment on the video, and you can also connect with me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Google+, and let me know there. All feedback is welcome. It's nice to hear what you guys want to hear lessons on, or if there are questions I can help out with. So anything, just let me know. That's about it for this week. Thank you for watching, and until next week.